You are what you eat, even in your mind.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's the intro to the whole day. You are what you eat, even in your mind. I didn't do it as good as Meg's, but welcome to today's episode.
Here's the deal. We're two moms and we popped babies out in our 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. It was hard.
It's also the best thing that's ever happened to either one of us.
Yeah, but now we're moms in our 40s.
In our 40s.
With preschoolers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's bring the community together of women.
All the moms, 40, 20.
And also, let's just talk about real shit. Real life, real women shit.
Yeah, real women shit. Let's do that.
Shit's hard. And also it's funny. Life is funny.
Let me just pull my bush out of my bush.
Cheers.
Cheers. Unfiltered.
Because if you want a show, we're a shit show. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome to Maturish Mamas Round 2 for the day. This one we're actually going to record the entire episode. Maybe, maybe not.
Let's just start.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Maturish mamas. So we had just a really cool morning already.
We did.
Already. So it's afternoon, which is a little different. We're just recording in the afternoon today. So Cal has a gym membership to Lifetime Fitness.
This episode is sponsored by Lifetime Fitness. Ding!
Thank you.
It's not, guys. Just kidding. Unless y'all want to be. If y'all want to send us money.
At Lifetime. We're adding you right now.
And also my Venmo is at...
Yeah. I know, like those little brides that put it on the back of their car. We should just put it on our car. Just always.
You know what? I actually looked in Venmo. You can just like text it to a load of people. Like, don't even say anything, because I was trying to share it with someone for the derby hats.
Yes.
And it was just like, you could just be like, I'm just going to text it to like 100 people without any other context. Just like, here's Caley's Venmo. What? Cool.
Let's find out.
You know?
Let's do a social experiment.
Yes.
See who sends us money.
So I am a member of Lifetime.
So she's a member of Lifetime, and she loves it. And so last summer we were kind of like, man, it would be so cool because they have a pool for the summer. So
actually, can I read them our text feed?
Yeah.
I wasn't just jacking around over here on my phone.
Yeah, do.
So you've got a picture of Meg's. You guys can't see it, but she's doing a rock star move with her curly 1/2 hair. That's the best GIF that you've made. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I have the best news ever. Wait for it. We just signed up for Lifetime. And there's 47 exclamation marks. So I write, shit up. 47 electron. No, wait, shut up. Exclamation marks. Our lives just went to an 11. And then it just keeps going for about an hour of just GIFs of us just being excited. That this happened and we get to have the experience together.
I know, I'm so excited. It just so happened that, first of all, let me share this tip.
Okay.
We got a Lifetime membership through my husband, so not through his work, but his work offers a discount for signing up for the gym, which is amazing. And I feel like it's probably more common than people realize, either through your employer or through your health insurance. So I think it's something to look into.
So we went to Lifetime this morning.
So we went to Lifetime this morning because we just signed up. And it was just a really amazing, not opportunity. What was that?
Experience. Introduction.
That's what I'm looking for. It was an amazing experience. First of all, everyone there is so friendly and so helpful and so kind about it. They're just so nice.
Did you notice the smell when you walked in?
I loved it.
Like I still, to this day, I walk in, I'm like, oh man, it just feels like it's
relaxed.
It's nice.
It just feels like welcome to utopia.
Yeah. Again, not actually sponsored by Lifetime. Yeah. There's a point to today's conversation, but we're excited about it, you guys.
Yeah.
Like now, my first thought process was like, we get to work side by side. We get to hang out. The boys get to hang out. Hopefully they start gaining a little bit more independence and less anxiety about going to the daycare, the gym, the Lifetime Academy. Went in school together.
LA.
Yeah. We can do some of our podcast stuff and editing and just like work. And then the pool in the summer.
And, you know, I did have a Lifetime membership long time ago.
Okay.
Long.
Yeah.
And it was great and beautiful, and the gym was huge and great, but it was not this era of Lifetime.
Yeah. There's been some
There's been some upgrades for sure.
Yeah.
And now I know why it's called Lifetime Fitness. Like I could just put up an air mattress and live there. I mean, they have a cafe, they have a spa, they have a work area, they have cryo beds that you can just lay on. They can do
plunge,
cold
saunas,
plunge, everything and like Lifetime Academy for your children. It's not called that, I don't think. But
it actually is.
Oh, it is. Just
It's
kidding.
called
Lifetime Academy.
That's why Witten calls it a school, because there's actual classes. So they have like art class, STEM class.
Amazing.
Music and movement, gym, parachutes. Okay,
Yeah.
other things.
Anyways, so about this Lifetime stuff, going to the gym, starting all that stuff. I don't know if everybody knows this yet. They probably don't, because we haven't even touched on it. But Caley here, Caley Carroll. She's been a physical health coach, a certified trainer, and a mental health coach for 20 plus.
I didn't realize, we were kind of like talking about it. I'm like, it's been 20 years, because it was, I think right after I had Kinsey, I was having a hard time losing weight. And I just was like, if I have to be the leader, then I'll show up. So I was at the rec center, and one of the girls was like, hey, there's a certification class this weekend. You want to come? And I was like,
that's
sure.
cool.
And then you guys will pay me to work out. Like, so that's how it started back in 2004. So yeah, it's been 21 years right now.
21 years.
Wild.
Drinking age.
That's what we do.
Her certification, we're taking to Vegas.
So when that's how I got kickstarted, and I just started teaching a couple classes at different rec centers and like boot camps and mommy size, and I loved to kind of create my own like format. Just as a gymnast, I would use like a lot of like body movements and body exercises, body weight exercises. Did that for a long time. But what was cool, Megs, is that focusing on the physical health and learning so much about self-love, especially, I don't know. I always like think that it's all women, but like coming from a space of not being very kind to my body for a while, like I don't have any like experimented with not eating for a scotch, or like maybe purging what you just ate. I think a lot of us test the waters of not very supportive physical health practices.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Because I think that in society, especially as a younger woman or a young adult, the goal is not to be healthy, it's to be thin.
Right. Yeah.
So you do experiment on how do I keep my body thin.
Yeah.
And then you grow, and especially, I mean, I know too, for me, I struggled a lot after Caston, especially because I had him at 41. So I feel like, not that that's an excuse or any different for anyone else, but for me, it was like, man, it really took some really hardcore stuff to get my body back on track to get healthier again and start to lose some weight, because
where you feel confident.
Yeah, well, you feel confident.
Yeah.
Like that's the end goal now. You just want to feel healthy and confident.
Yeah. Whatever that feels like for you.
Whatever body that is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the journey. So that, like, just to kind of like, how did I get from that to health coach? So I started doing this, started my own company where I was just like leading my own classes and doing personal training and one-on-ones. And then I was introduced to a nutrition company, and everybody, they just needed support with their nutrition too for their physical health. And when I did that, I started learning about personal development. Like I hadn't really been introduced to like intentional mental health practices. I didn't really even know that was a thing in my late 20s. I was like, wait, what? I've already learned. Like, why do I need to learn more? So once I started that, then it was like a full other half. Like the first decade was all about physicality. The second decade is where I started to add the mental piece of it, and then just like consuming so many different books and just ideology and learning how to practice mental health. And then in 2020, I was able to start a company where it's called I Am Journey, where it's for women to step into their greatest confidence and offer them a set of like tools that support them to get there. So like that's really where I kickstarted the last 5 years, is the mental health journey. Now, of course, after Witten's diagnosis, I didn't really have the opportunity to work. So I haven't got to share or talk about it for a while.
So we wanted to do that today because I think it's supportive, especially for moms, to just talk about it, because I know that we all kind of get into the space, especially right after that baby, and you're kind of like coming back into the world again, and your body has changed.
Yep.
It just has. So we want to be supportive in how to maybe kickstart yourself, get yourself prepared, get ready to do it, and then actually take the steps of starting to do things. And well, who's better to talk about that than this girl right here? She's ready to talk about it with us.
Yeah, chat about it. I can't tell you how many people actually would like come in for my services and be like, yeah, I just had a baby. She's 18 and like I'm still carrying around 50 pounds
I
from
got baby
her.
weight.
Yeah.
I still count my baby weight from my 17-year-old.
Yeah, and like I will just like preface this full conversation back to the confidence piece, because this is not about being a certain size. It's not about having certain muscles showing or having a certain thin, I don't know, like whatever. It's about you feeling confident and proud, because my favorite part about doing transformations, Megs, is when I accompanied both the physical and mental side. And when they would like walk into one of our first meetups or like the first conversations, and you could just feel them like looking down, pulling in, lack of confidence, lack of conversation, to like, whatever, 6 months later, them busting through the door and be like, hey, I'm here. And I'm like, that's the transformation I love to see, is when people are just like owning their authentic selves out of a space of love instead of a space of like punishment.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're not talking about a certain number.
Nope.
No numbers.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily even about losing weight. It's not even about, it's just about that. Exactly what you said.
And
I love that.
We can have much further and deeper conversations on this, but this will just kind of like be an introduction maybe to a few things.
I love that. Yeah. Health. We're
Yeah.
just going to talk about some health,
Let's talk about
mental,
some health.
physical.
Perfect.
Health.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. So do you want to start with your maybe some top 3 tips, or is that you want to
Just the tip.
just
I can give 3 tips. Let's do just top 3 tips. We'll do. Well, yeah, I'll give you. Yep,
3 tips.
Yep. It's fine, you guys. If you aren't watching on Spotify, I'm sorry right now. You don't get to know.
Nope.
Maybe next time. It's fine. That one we're not going to explain.
Sorry.
So sorry.
Super sorry.
So sorry.
Yeah.
I think 3 would be a great place to start. That's going to be like.
Let's do 3 of each.
Okay.
3 physical, 3 mental.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's start with the body.
Let's start with the body.
Body. Okay. I would say one of my top physical tips for you just embracing and loving on your body for nutrition wise would be something that I have taught forever called the 10% protein ratio. And I don't really even know where I got this, you guys. Like I think it was just a culmination of all the different things. But when you're eating, there's certain foods that are empty calories, empty foods.
Yeah,
and
we
there's-
all know.
Yeah, that are food that are much more nutritious.
They lied to us. The food pyramid. No.
It's not working.
It's a red line through it. You don't need 15 grams of grains or whatever.
It's so funny because there's a lot of us that when we fuel our body, we're not listening to our stomachs. So we're overeating because we're eating the wrong things. And when you start to create a more positive relationship with your foods by looking for this 10% protein factor, I'll teach you real quick. What happens is you got to get past the mental piece of it too, but you start eating less because you're eating more of the good things. And then just everything, it's not dieting. It's just changing the way you're looking at your foods.
So you're feeding your body the fuel that it needs, so you
Right.
don't have to eat as much.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty simple. And what we do for the 10% protein ratio is you look at any food. Okay. So if you like turn around the label and there are 100 calories in something, if 10% of that, so what's 10% of 100? Megan, I know you love math.
10.
Good job. She did it. All you do is drop the 0. That's why this one's so easy.
I love that.
So if there's 10 grams of protein, that's what I would call like a good food, where it's like, eat that because it's going to give you more fulfilling, like satisfied feeling from eating. And when you focus on having more foods that are like that, like I was just showing Megs, I found these Carb Master
Hawaiian roll
Hawaiian
things.
hot dog.
Yeah.
Or hamburger buns.
Yeah.
And they're 110 calories and they're 11 grams of protein. What? Like this is my 10% protein
That's
ratio.
exactly it.
Is what we need. So, and it just, it's like you're still eating a roll, but instead of getting the one that's 2 grams of protein, you're getting the one that's 11 grams of protein. So you're upping your protein. And when you're upping your protein keeps your body fuller longer. It helps build muscle. And then when you build muscle, you're going to be burning more calories. So all of it just works in and of itself
Unison.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some foods that are 20% protein ratio, like Greek yogurt or, some like your cottage cheese is like 15%, your meats and stuff. So you'll just start to like kind of recognize empty calories versus fuller calories. Now that's not going to be in the same alignment with your fats. You do need your good fats. So we won't even talk about that right now, but that's my first tip.
Just a quick, easy tip.
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah.
10% protein.
Yep. And it doesn't mean you don't eat the other things, but you don't focus on it. Like if you're gonna grab some food and you see that there is a protein, like there's a 10% protein ratio pasta versus not, then pick the other one. And
Yeah.
if you want to have some complete empty calories, like
You're going out to Maggiano's.
then you just do that.
Eat some carbonara if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's not going to be 10% protein ratio.
No.
That's okay. And then it's just like portion size a little bit, trying to be more aware of it. But the better that you eat, the smaller that your stomach, it goes back to its original size. And then you just do better. Because remember, every time you overfill yourself, you are actually stretching out that muscle in your stomach. And now your body expects more food. So you do have to kind of bring it back in.
Cool.
Tip number 1.
Love that.
So
Easy to remember,
Easy
easy to
peasy.
do. And on a daily basis, like how easy is it to just pick that,
Yeah.
So love. Okay,
There we
cool.
go. Okay. Tip number 2, I would say I feel like there's a misconception of exercise. And I feel like a lot of people, they think, okay, I'm going to start my exercise journey. For example, today we go to the gym and you're like, do you want a one-on-one session? It's like, I'm not really here for that. I don't really need that. Like I'm actually more here for like the mental side of it. But I think that people feel like when you go to the gym, you should leave like dripping wet sweat. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I feel like it's intimidating. I'm going to go to class. Everything's going to like completely hurt and I'm going to be so out of breath. But I would say...
And then I'm going to stop doing it because I hated it.
Because I hated it.
Because I don't want my body to hurt every day.
Yeah, so it's just not going to be fun. But if you can focus instead on just activating your muscles, because muscle, again, is going to burn far more calories. A pound of fat's going to burn 2.2 calories approximately, and a pound of muscle is going to burn 14 calories.
Whoa, that's a big
difference.
Yeah.
So if your body has more muscle mass, you don't even have to do anything different. You're just going to be burning more calories sitting on the couch watching your soaps. You guys watching soaps? I don't even know if they have soaps.
Telemundo.
Oh, my novelas. If you're learning Spanish, you should probably start watching because that's a great place to learn it.
It is a great place to learn it.
Sidetrack, and it's a good sidetrack. So it's like I don't work out very much. There was a time in my life where I would love to do 2 classes a day, and I loved like the sweat piece of it, and that's cool because loving it is a big space. But now, if I get 30 minutes in 4 days a week, I'm high-fiving myself.
Hey, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what an amazing gift to give yourself too. 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week.
Yeah, just a little bit here and there. So technically what they recommend is 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week, so 3.5 hours a week. But like that can be intimidating if you haven't started there.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
It is intimidating. So I'll tell you.
Yeah. When I got back into it in January before we went on our trip, I was like, okay, Cal, like you really haven't been focused physically for a while. Let's just do 10 minutes a day is what I decided to do because John was working so much and I didn't like, you might not have a pass to a gym or you have every excuse going against you of why not to do it, but you can do 10 minutes a day. So we've,
at home.
Yeah. Yeah. And with the kids around. So I've just done these little 10-minute programs for a long time where it's like you have a mission, you want to cross off a list, and it's all about activating your muscles. So that could, like, there's an arm challenge or a butt challenge or an abs challenge. But when you feed the muscles by working them out, then now you have a higher caloric burning throughout all the day. So don't think that you need to go for an hour. Don't think that you have to go freaking, it's cool to like sweat, but you just don't have to. I don't know the last time that I sweated a workout aside from like a hot yoga.
Great.
Again, you can, you just don't have to. That's it.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Which is nice because then you're not setting yourself up for disappointment. You know,
yeah.
if you have it in your mind that, hey, every time I work out, I have to work out for an hour, I have to sweat, I need to run cardio, like, you know, if that's your expectation going in, especially from going maybe from 0 or a 10% exerciser to like, this is how I have to make this work. Kelly's here telling you it's not. It's not. And it really isn't. It really isn't the way that you have to show up, especially I think, you know, coming right out of having a baby.
Yeah.
You really don't need to do all those things, but you just got to get your body moving again, activate some muscles, be cognizant of what you're putting in your body. So those are two fantastic,
two quick little
tips.
schnipple whipples.
Yeah.
So if that was my last one, Megs, and there are so many cool tips out there, but if I was just going to give you 3, I would say for physical health, you need to operate from a space of love instead of from a space of punishment. And it goes back to what we were just saying. That doesn't mean like, for most of us, if we're like, I'm going to start something and we create this impossible mission, right? Where we're like, I'm going to work out an hour every day and I'm going to do, like 75 hard. There are so many amazing pieces of 75 hard. And if you have worked your way up to doing those things, that's great. But if you really don't go from anything and then expect yourself to work out 2 hours a day, 1 hour inside, 1 hour outside, absolutely no, carbs or sugars or whatever, and like all of these different pieces, it's great. That's cool. That's probably not going to last because you're not creating personal habits that you love that will be a part of your life forever. But if you do it from a space of love, you find, I always like to find movement that I enjoy. So if I enjoy dance, cool. If I enjoy going for a jog and my body is healthy, cool. If I go, if I enjoy
swimming or
anything.
Pickleball.
Yeah, pickleball. There you go.
Lots of people are enjoying that right now.
Yeah. And if you don't, this is the cool piece, right? For like, well, I don't really enjoy any of that, Cal. But you're saying if I could just like push myself through 10 minutes a day of doing some push-ups and sit-ups and squats, perfect. So now you're activating just with that. So now you're not coming from a space of like punishing your body. And the same thing with foods, where the second you tell me, Cal, you can't have pizza anymore, F you, I'm out. Not doing the program.
Done.
Not doing it.
So I'm picking pizza over program every time.
Every single, and especially when you tell me I can't have it.
Especially when you tell me I can't have it.
But if you're like, you know what, just like look at your 10% protein ratio and maybe 90% of the day you try to hit that, and the other 10% you're eating a bag of gummy worms and I don't know, having a margarita.
Queso and
chips. My favorite major food group. Oh man, you guys should see.
As long as it's bright orange. Okay, that's the only one I want.
It's got just like a fake cheese. It just comes out of a jar. I really do love and enjoy all of that stuff regularly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because that's real life.
Yep. Yeah.
That's real life.
And
it's except for the people who are really into it, and that's good for them too.
Yeah,
but
because they enjoy it. They're also coming from a
it.
space, hopefully, of self-love, not punishment. And like, if you're super excited about the marathon you're training for or the show that you're going to do, that's so cool too. Come from a space of love, not from punishment.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a million more, but that's a good physical start.
That is a great physical, easy to understand, totally doable start to your physical side of this.
If you're in our group, let us know what ones of those maybe you'd be willing to take on, because you also don't need to do all 3 of them at once, but you could like ponder it.
Yeah, or start by one.
Yeah.
Pick one and start there.
Yep.
Stand up in the mirror every morning and say, I love you.
Love you.
Look at this body. I love it.
Oh, look at you work out.
Look at you.
Oh, girl.
And when she says if you're part of our group, she means a Facebook group.
Oh, yeah.
Maturish Mamas Squad. And if you're not a part of it, get a part of it, because it is awesome. We got new mamas every day starting, which I love. And they're sharing stories and they're doing things and they're taking our little, part of being on the squad. Sorry, side note.
I like this.
Part of being on the squad is getting to help us to hone in on this,
what we want to
talk about, what you guys are interested in, how what you're feeling. Plus, we get ideas and feedback and find our guests and all that stuff. So
I love
be about the squad. Also, they're talking to each other, which I love. So get on there. It's on Facebook right now.
I was in a group, by the way, side note, where like one of us said something like, hey, I'll connect with you like via Messenger. And then we had an admin write back and say, we do not encourage you to message outside of this. We need all of the information to be public on here. And I was like, duh fudge. I changed it
You're not
today.
the boss of me.
Yeah, why? I'm here to build relationships with people who have commonalities. Like, you're going to tell me not to build relationships? That was weird. Isn't that weird?
that is
like, I
weird.
want you all to friend all of you, and I want you to be supporting each other in there. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Like, yes, please write each other
Yes.
outside of this.
Yes,
Weird.
please do. Please
Anywho.
do. Yeah.
Anywho, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Moving on.
Oh, yeah, mental health.
Segue into mental health, because you don't know what her mental health is or what she's struggling or
You
dealing
don't
with.
know. You don't know.
So give us some hints, some tips
Okay.
on mental health
Yeah. Yep.
health.
That.
Mental health.
Mental, I feel like this is even harder than the physical things because so Just I Am Journey has 30 different little mini lessons, because there are so many things that if you just start to incorporate in your life on a daily basis, you're going to see that your life can go from one complete like landscape to something different after. And like, you don't even really notice it's happening, but all of a sudden you're like, wow, remember how unhappy I was, or jealous I was, or fearful I was, or anxious I was. And look at me now. And some of you might be like, but I'm on the was category. And it just takes starting to do some different things in your world. So breaking down 3 is a little bit more challenging for me.
I bet. Yeah.
in this
No,
one.
that's, yeah.
So I would say, first off, if you're not feeding your mind with something positive on a daily basis, that would be a strong encouragement to me. And it's like a lot of times in the morning can be one of the best times to do that, where some people wake up and they turn on the news. By the way, don't ever do that. Like, I don't strongly encourage you to turn on the news in any matter
Any
or
time of
form.
day?
Yeah, any time of day would be good for me. But if you are going to be like, maybe like reading a paper or choosing very specific resources that you want to get to, but like exposing yourself to news on a regular basis is probably not the best. So during those first hours where you're setting up your mental state for the day, just consuming something positive. Now, I mean, that could be it could be just like YouTube, like motivational videos, like just 10 minutes, like
Your favorite song.
Well, so your favorite song, I would say, I would put that in its own category, Mace.
Okay.
So I would say that that's more in the realm of putting yourself into a positive vibrational state, where what I'm talking about is more so directive on things and ways to improve your mindset. So for me now, that's book club. It's choosing a book that's going to support you in forward movement or growth in your life in some way. So it's actual, like, it's called personal development, where you can listen to a book. Sometimes people aren't quite ready for books yet. But like, so I'll give you an example. Andy Andrews is a great, I don't want to say starter personal development author, because he is phenomenal, but everything that he writes is so relatable and it's in story form. Like, there's this one called The 7 Decisions, and you're traveling through time with him, and this main character is experiencing all of these different leaders throughout the past, where they're learning a lesson like the buck stops here. And what that whole chapter is about, it's entertaining, but then you're also learning to take responsibility for your life instead of blaming others. So it's really more about intentional training of your mind to show up differently. So when I say like motivational YouTubes, this would be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget his name.
Deepak.
Deepak's amazing.
Is it the guy with the blue eyes?
That's Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty. He's really awesome.
Yeah. We're actually reading Live Life Like a Monk right now from Jay Shetty.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Eric Thomas.
E.
Thomas. So like, that's where it's like that, like string of like, you can do this, you've got this, like, you know, like take control of your life. So it's like more that like, so it does have the music beats to it.
Okay.
They actually do have motivational, personal development, motivational beats where they're putting into song format.
That's my jam. I love that.
I'll share
I think
that
I
with
would
you.
like that. Yeah.
I'll share with the group.
So share with the group.
Yeah.
So what I'm taking from that, it's an intentional ingestion of positive information to start your day.
Yes. And where you get to take that information and move through your day with it and then practice it too. So it's like, if you're reading Mel Robbins and you learn the let them theory, then you walk through the day, you know, just showing up a little bit differently because it's a daily intentional consumption. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're being very intentional with how you're living your life.
Yeah.
You're really choosing, which we've talked about many times before, how your day's going to go.
Yep.
Because that's a choice that you get to make every morning you wake up.
Yeah.
Instead of just opening your eyes and doing it
Yep. Yeah.
You're saying, here's how I'm going to do it today.
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's so many good things to consume. So,
Because you are what you eat, even in your mind.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That's the intro to the whole day. You are what you eat, even in your mind. I didn't do it as good as Meg's, but welcome to today's episode. And I was just going to say one more piece on that, as if you pick something to consume and it's not meat in your taste buds, you're like, I'm just not reading this as much. Then
not connecting.
Yeah, pick something different. It's probably not your time for that book or that video or that podcast. A lot of people, like, maybe that's what you guys are doing right now is connecting with us because of that. So pick a show, pick a whatever. Just try something different. Cool. Yeah. Easy peasy. 10 minutes a day. You could do that while you're doing your 10-minute exercises, while you're doing your push-ups. You could just throw it on and then get both done at the same time.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
That's called efficiency.
And
that's what you do as a mama.
Mamas, you need that. And your babies will appreciate it too. They'll be hearing it even if they're just it's in the background, which is cool.
Which is awesome. And I did just remember that that children actually get their physical information, like as they grow, from their mom. They watch their mom work out, so that sets them up for a better way of like learning that, that's what you do for your day is you get up in the morning, you work out, you do a little intentional consumption. And
I love that.
Then that's like, so they're learning that from their mom. Their dad could be like all-American, Mr. America workout guy, but they're just like, that's dad.
What's
that's
mom
what dad
doing?
do. Yeah. But mom.
What's my mom?
But my mom gets up, does a couple squats, and listens to Jay Shetty.
I love, so when you state it like that, I feel like maybe more of our mamas might receive this because a lot of people do get consumed by just being mom of the year, with just like quotes around just, right? Like that's your focus. It's all about the kids. But what if this is all about the kids? It's your kids watching you wake up, listening to your personal development, doing your 10 minutes of workout, maybe choosing some healthy foods, and they're seeing that. And now you are like that. You're doing it for your kids.
You're doing it for your kids.
And we do want you to do it for yourself, obviously. But like still, like that might be maybe you have to start off
Maybe
there.
that's your connection to start. Yeah.
Okay, 2 more, and then we're done. Just
you can
2.
do this.
You can do this.
You can do this, Cal.
Okay.
I'll be your motivation this morning. You got this, girl. You can do this. Go. Come on, get in there. Get that card catalog and positivity out and pull out the one you want to share right now.
Okay. Kind of following along the suit of the news piece, I would say like turning down your social media, your screen time a little bit, or maybe starting to transition it. And I'd like to have an entire different conversation about how your mind is, what you surround itself with, and the top 7 people that you're around or 7 people that you follow. But like maybe one of the big things that is filling you with anxiety or fear or lack of confidence,
envy, comparison,
self-judgment is because you're looking at all of the other things that other people are doing, wondering why you don't do it the same. And you're not those other people. Like you can use it as motivation or excitement, or you're cheering them on, or like, maybe idea generation. But when you're coming from a space of envy or anything else like that, like that's not supporting you. And if you're following or you're consistently flooded with negativity feeds. Like I've had a friend who she got stuck in a political loop, and she was like, how do I get myself out of this? Like every time I go on Facebook or social media, everything is just all of this political thing that's just making me feel, or that could be something different for you. Like it's sad news loop, or everybody performing, like everybody's incredibly fit and it's just making you feel less than because you're not quite at that point yet, whatever. But if your social media, it's operated off of algorithms. So it's so smart. The second that you spend, instead of 1 second on a video, you give it 3 seconds, it's going to start feeding you more of that. So if you like paused on the politics or the negative person or the person who's talking shit about life or whatever it is, now they're going to give you more and more of that. So I think that's why, number one, just decreasing your social media consumption can be supportive. But if you enjoy social media, or we've talked about the positive features of social media, start training it differently. Like pause on Mel Robbins' video, pause on Jay Shetty's video, pause on.
Join the Maturish Mama Squad.
Yes. Yes, right? Pause here, because it's going to start feeding you these. Did I tell you that now when we yell at Spotify, hey Siri, play Megs and Cal, it finds us on Spotify and plays with us. It just pops. How does it even do that?
That's amazing.
Playing number 2, making a baby 101.
Do you hear that? She's playing it. So
That just makes my heart so happy.
I didn't realize that was good. Isn't that so cool?
That is awesome. Thank you,
I know.
guys.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
you guys are, I'm sure, have something to do with that.
Technology, you guys are getting it. But yeah, just watch who you're following and who you're giving your time, and not just social media, who you're around on a daily basis. It's what you're surrounding and what you're feeding your mind with. Again, so you start with intentional positivity, and then secondly, try to pull yourself away from the things that aren't making you feel so good. Mm-hmm. So quick little dose.
Okay, cool. Okay. Those are 2 fantastic.
Final.
I mean, those are 5. That was number 5 total.
There's so much going on
I
right
know.
now.
I love this.
This is easy for me. The final one, this is, I think, been one of the biggest game changers, and we have talked about it in multiple episodes in my life, my mental state, everybody else who's even decided to practice it at all, and that would be focusing on gratitude. And every day on my social media, I do the first thing in the morning is going to be an encouragement post for people to find gratitude for something, not just on Thanksgiving, not just the month of November, where you're like, I'm thankful. And that's awesome. If you're doing that, keep doing that. Mm-hmm. But gratitude's meant to happen every single day. And when you start to look at the world differently, the world starts showing up differently to you. And when you look at the world and all you see is the negative pieces, and you were late to work, and how you don't love your job, and your hair's not quite right, and you wish that you had nicer clothes, and why does my hips look like that, and I want to have a waist, and their relationship's amazing and mine's not, and my finances are wherever you're focusing, you're harnessing more of that in. So when you shift and you intentionally, you might even have to force yourself into doing daily gratitude, then things start to shift in your life. So that just saying thank you.
Yeah.
Saying thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being my friend.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Traveling down the world and back again. My heart is true. You're a friend and a confidant.
It's pal. You're right.
I did it.
A party and invited everyone I knew.
Now she's just showing off. She does know it all.
You could see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would read, "Thank you for being a friend."
Megan, I'm so proud of you.
Guess who taught me that song? Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
Johnny used to sing that.
I love that.
But,
Thanks,
yeah,
Johnny. Thank you. Gratitude for Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks for teaching me the words to that
I know.
song, because it's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah, it's so good.
Golden Girls. I love them.
Yep.
Gratitude.
So
Great reminder.
Yeah, and
thankful for that reminder, Cal.
Some people don't even know what that means, though. How do you practice gratitude in your day? We're almost done, by the way. If you guys are okay, stop talking. You'll be thankful when we stop. We're not done yet. Okay, just one more thing. How to do it.
When I'm really good at doing it, it's almost like in prayer. Mm-hmm. And I find that that's the best way for me to really find my gratitude. And, it's quiet space. Sometimes it's in the morning, which is when I really do try and do it is in the morning when I first wake up. But sometimes I don't because it's too hard. Sometimes you got to jump right out of bed and start your day because things are going off or whatever. So then I do it either anytime I can when I put Cass down for a nap or just at night. And I try to do it both in the morning and at night. I try and do it twice a day.
Yeah.
Try is the key there.
Yeah.
And it's just in my prayer. And it's just what I'm so thankful for. Or when I do find myself into a negative loop, which has been pretty often lately.
Life.
Yeah, life's coming at me pretty hard, just hit me in the face like a dodgeball, just bouncing off my dome. But so when I do find myself in a negative loop, because it is a loop and it is something that I play myself in my head, and it starts to be like an eating away at I got to do this and this is happening and this. And then I get into these rabbit holes of negativity because it's just real fast and easy sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I try and when I find myself there, because you just do. And then I do try to remember, I go down that hole and then I'm like, okay, those are thoughts. They're not feelings, they're not happening. So then I say at least 3 things that I am grateful for at that
Perfect.
moment.
Yeah. So 3, I think that's a great place to start, is 3 different things to be grateful for. And the fact that you do it multiple times a day is beautiful. I think sometimes people are like, I don't even understand like what to be grateful for, but like just take something away in your brain and imagine your life without it. Imagine your life without cups to put water in.
It can be really simple.
So simple. Like, and I think that's where people like, well, of course you're grateful for, I hope that you're grateful for your children or your family or different things like that, which you can start there. You can focus on that. But also like, you know, I'm grateful for this e.l.f. little sparkly lip gloss. Like it makes my lips feel good. Give me a little sparkle. It just feels good.
Makes me feel pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for nails. Like how would this house be put together if I didn't have nails to put it together? That'd be a wild world to live in. I'm so grateful for my left leg because I can walk.
Yeah. Seriously, because there's some people that would love to have a left leg.
Yeah.
But just to really, you know, it's like those things may sound silly to you, but to like really and deeply feel thankful for those things. Like it's like I am thankful for lip gloss.
Yeah.
Like, aren't we how amazing that we even have that option as women to like be like, I want to put this pretty, glittery, sparkly stuff on my lips.
My non-existent lips. And I still want to. And guess what? I'm thankful for my little tiny baby lips, my little thin little lips.
Yeah.
They're perfect. They're perfectly mine.
Yeah. So the simplest thing, really,
Yeah.
it could be the pen that you're using to write down what you're thankful for.
Yeah.
So that you have that option.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And as you guys start to practice that more often, Meg says like when she remembers, but I've watched her for the last year and just in our conversations, we say thank you obsessively and we light each other up. We all over each other. To just make sure that we're like, when we're lighting each other up, that's gratitude. We're saying thank you for this relationship and for this friendship and for that time together and lifetime this morning. And that you got this freaking remarkable opportunity to have a hella cheap offering to lifetime.
Seriously.
What?
Like, seriously. And like, just even sometimes I'm just so thankful for the alignment that is happening right now in our life.
Yeah.
Like, holy
We
shit.
are so blessed.
Like, it's like, what, another thing?
Yeah.
Thank you for another thing. And it's like, if you really aren't paying attention to how your life is actually happening, you may miss those things. And so it could be easy just to think about, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to spend even more time with Caley.
And you probably do miss those things, which is why it's harder to pull yourself out of a slump or the funk or the, what did you call it?
Like a spiral down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, the spiral, because it's hard for you to grab onto that gratitude and pull yourself back up. But if you make it a practice, it's going to be easier when shit hits the fan, and shit's going to hit the fan sometimes. So I think that's so minimally the amount that we could share today, Megs, but we also don't want to have an 18-hour episode. So we could talk about this more later. All the different things. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. Like, what an easy way to start, because I'll tell you what, it can be daunting starting anything new, but especially like even today, as I'm like walking into Lifetime, I was feeling a little overwhelmed, like, because, you know, I'm not, like CrossFit or you know what I mean? Like I enjoy moving my body, but it's usually not in the way of like lifting weights or something like that. So I was feeling a little intimidated. And so I was so grateful to have you there with me to just do it anyways, you know? But then I walked in there and now that I'm out, I'm stoked and I'm excited. And I just did that one little thing by just walking through the door and starting something and finding that everyone there was so kind and helpful and ready to help me do this.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're just alone wandering.
Yeah.
And so
your confidence
thankful for
journey.
that.
Yeah. Your confidence journey, you guys, can begin today, wherever you're at. Maybe you just want to improve it a little bit, or maybe you're like, I feel like I'm at the bottom of the barrel. I just want to start taking a couple steps. And I think today is a great reminder that you don't have to do all of the things all at once. And even though it might be like a little bit of like, I'm stepping into something new like that, once you just try just a little bit and see what happens. And we are excited to be a part of your journey and, you know, hopefully hear back from you like, that kickstarted me.
Yes.
And here I am today.
Yep.
So
yay!
thank
We're
you.
supportive of your journey.
Yeah, we are.
Let's do this.
And thank you, Lifetime. Is it fitness or just Lifetime? I
This
don't know.
one just says Lifetime. We just want to say thank you to Lifetime today for being our sponsor of the idea of this episode. So.
And I'm not going to share that I prevented people from joining your gym for approximately 10 years because I gave them different programs to do and said they didn't need a gym. And now guess what? It's my favorite place I've ever been in my life.
And still you don't need a gym.
Different stages. Remember that, you guys.
Different strokes for different folks.
That's right. You stroke it how you want to, guys. Thanks for joining. Love you guys. Love your guts.
Oh, your guts.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.
Move your body, shake it, and shake it. A tap. Did you guys know Megs could tap dance and twerk at the same time?
It's called twapping.
I can twap.
Yeah.
Let me watch you twap. We could start a new entire program.
Twapping.